Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about transit Mercury conjunct one's natal sun. Now, we're talking about a transit set that involve Mercury. It could be about being objective, communication, thinking, and learning, assimilating information. Now, when you have transit Mercury hitting one's natal sun, well, this could be about being very trying to be objective anyway, communication, thinking, and learning could be about our true self. And of course, a true self that applies to most people because most people have a different sun sign in contrast to their ascendant sign. And if you have a different sun sign as opposed to your sun sign, it's really getting to know, maybe understanding who you actually are. And, I mean, say if this is in Scorpio, it could be a person that starts to think, well, yeah, I do have very indomitable spirit, and especially if you have like a weaker ascendant, and like I should say weak ascendant, like say. Like Pisces or Gemini in terms of the strength of character or what have you. This is something too. Now, also the Sun is connected with our basic character. This could be about understanding about who we actually are. Again, the basic, fundamental, person. And again, and this would apply if our especially this is a different if you have a different ascendant as opposed to your sun sign. But the thing about it is too, it's also the sun is about our identity. Now, if this is in Gemini, maybe there's much contemplation regarding an identity crisis. I'm really being flippant with that. But anyway, this is about really understanding, thinking about our identity at this time. And there might be issues where there might be more about thinking about doing something in terms of connected with our identity, such as it could even be an ID card in some cases. Now, also the sun is associated with our biological father. And the way this could manifest is that this could be a time where we're trying to maybe find out more about the biological father, for better or for worse. It could be something that someone's suspicious of something, or they're just trying to get to know the person a little bit better. It could be, could also be where there's more communication with this person as well, and also dominant males in a person's life at this time. And this is about also too, when we look at the sun, astrology is connected with our focus. So this could also manifest in really where we really can articulate more what we want to focus on, and it could be matters pertaining to communication and writing, journalism, things that are associated with our hands. It could be things with dexterity, like auto or refrigeration mechanics. And another thing too, this is also could be about what we put our thinking about what we really need to put our attention on at this time. And also too, it's about being objective about our physical body at this time. And because the sun, yes, the ascendant is what dominates the appearance and the physical body, but the sun can play a role in this as well. And if the sun is the same sign as the ascendant, then it's going to be really the same in terms of propensity towards certain physical related issues. If you have the same sun sign as the ascendant, I mean, say if it's in Leo, you're going to have, the sun in Leo can indicate problems with stroke or heart issues of the spine, the upper back. And if your ascendant is also in Leo, then it would indicate the same thing as an example. So anyway, and this is a time too about where we have, this is also the sun can also be associated with our vitality and energy. So this is about perhaps really being objective, communicating about those issues at this time. If it's, say, if your sun is in Taurus, this transit is in Taurus, then it could be about much latent energy and endurance, but also being realistic, being objective about what you can actually do as far as your energy level goes. And as far as anatomically speaking, the sun is associated with the heart, the spine, the upper back, the left or the right eye, depending on gender. So this could be about a time where you're starting to look at these issues. Remember, Mercury is connected with eyesight, so it's kind of like how we're perceiving these, looking at these matters right now. If there are issues with them, this is something that you more likely than not would be more willing to articulate and address and talk about, or contact the appropriate person, the doctor, or what have you at this point in time. And the sun in astrology is also about our drive and motivation. Now, this could be where siblings, cousins, or neighbors can be more prominent in these matters. Remember, Mercury can be associated with cousins, siblings, neighbors, even people that you knew that were prominent in your early education. And also, too, the sun is also about domination. So these people might be, playing a dominant role at this time in your life. This transit really doesn't last for that long. Mercury, on average, may be in a sign for like 15 to 20 days. You may not even have this transit for 3 days. Uh, the thing is, because that's based on the 5 degree total. Well, actually, what I should say is I use a 3 degree applying orb as far as the applying conjunction aspect from Mercury to the Sun, and a 2 degree separating conjunction aspect, a total of 5 degrees. So that's what I'm basing on. So it's not going to really last for that time. For that sustained period, you might have it again for about a few, maybe 3 days approximately on average. But it still could be a time where you might be more talkative than usual, more loquacious, being willing, to come out. And if you're somebody that's got a very introspective and introverted chart, it can surprise some people because you might be, just basically more willing to converse with others more so than usual at this time. And also too, this could also be a time as well, where again, the siblings, cousins, and neighbors can be more prominent, not just in your drive and motivation, but in you taking action. And going back to the, say, as an example, if this is in the zodiac sign Scorpio, it could be matters with crises and upheavals, and being able to be resilient, bounce back from adversity, and investigate. If it's in Taurus, say, it could be about learning things that are demonstrated visually and methodically. In doing so, since it's hitting the Sun, with more concentration of power and focus and attention. And Taurus is a sign, of course, that can have very good powers of concentration. So anyway, it could also be a time too where we put more. It could be about more of an improved memory at this time, greater ability to retain information more so than usual. Say if this is in Libra, it could be connected matters with legalities, relationships, maybe even Libra, things of enjoyment, such as, I would say, tennis, because that's connected with balance, or gymnastics as well. Some kind of a Libra sport or a game. This is something too where looking at this as well. Another way this transit could manifest and pan out. This could also be about really being more objective regarding what you want. Mercury, of course, could be very objective energy. The Sun is about what we want and what's actually, conceivable, what's attainable at this time. And again, this looking at this, it can be, in Taurus, it can be something connected, with what, their values, or something with money and persistence as well. What you may actually feel you could be persistent at and stay without giving up and persevering with, and things of that nature. Now, Another thing too, this could also be um, because the sun can be connected with the physical body. Uh, and anatomically speaking, Mercury is associated with the hands, arms, nerves, lungs, and eyesight. So it's possible there could be some issues with that with them at this time. And since the transit again only lasts maybe roughly around like 3 days, on average, it's something where um, you can be looking at this and it's really not very sustained. If there's something with eyesight, it might be a mild irritation. I mean, if it's an Aquarius, it might be some kind of something that's very intermittent, like a twitch or something. And something with the nerves may be a little erratic and sporadic, but since the transit does not last that long, generally I would say it wouldn't be anything that serious. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. But anyway, this could also be a time too where you may have more. You might be more of a, you know, more about conversation domination at this time because Mercury is associated with communication. Sun is domination. You may not let really the other person get too much in edgewise, kind of like a Gemini type syndrome, but it's something to keep in mind at this time and just kind of make sure you have some equilibrium as far as communication goes with somebody. Mercury is also associated with short journeys, so short journeys may dominate at this time more so than usual. Say if you have this in the zodiac sign Cancer, it might be one's with home family members that maybe you're running errands for or bringing them to local places. And because remember, Mercury being associated with local transportation as well. And it could also be, I mean, looking at this could also be really maybe shining in some kind of communication endeavor, getting some kind of notoriety, attention, and recognition for something, whether it could be something with journalism or an author, or just maybe writing some kind of blog. If you have this in Aquarius, say it might be something with astrology or in astronomy, aerospace, or computers, electronics, innovation. It could also be a period that could be very auspicious for communication with authority figures, and at this time you might be, more inundated, with emails, at time telephone calls, messages in general. At this time, more so than usual, and in fact, that transit Mercury is hitting the Sun. The Sun is about our vitality and energy. It could manifest and maybe take a little bit of a toll on the energy level, but at the same time, it can show a lot of energy to be able to do things that are Mercury related at this time. So anyway, people, that will conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.